Hey, what is going on, guys? Joe here, Radio 690 ADV, 690ADV.com. Podcast Thursday. Thank you for stopping in. We have a special guest, Bonnie from Storymoto. Woo! Stepping in. If you notice her, she was on our very first podcast, but she's on our first video podcast too. Very cool. She's swinging in, and literally, she's at the 690 garage. It's a super quick pass through. She's got to get back to Florida. She's got a lot of things going on, but we'll see her again somewhere down the road. But she just got back from a bunch of stuff. Before we get into that, first thing I want to do, I want to thank everybody that stops in and is part of everything that we do. I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys. Don't forget, you can catch us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts. You can catch all that stuff. Don't forget, youtube.com/690ADV. Don't forget, youtube.com/storymotoadv. You can catch all their stuff too. You can see what's going on with those guys. They got a bunch of stuff happening. Very neat stuff. It's very cool. They got a lot of things that are happening. It's basically, it's a whole family that's on the road and they're doing their thing, and they're trying to make something happen that I don't think anybody's ever done before. They take a whole family and get on the road. So, but with that, there are their challenges and things like that. But don't forget, subscribe, be part of our deal. I sure do appreciate everybody. And thank you for stopping in on our podcast. And we're going to get on to it. We're going to talk about moto girls and moto chicks or moto women, however you want to sit there and do it. And how do they do it? And what do they do? And how do they keep the guys in line when they're doing the things that they do when they're out on the deals? Because a lot of times girls are kind of not allowed on the moto trips. So what is it that they do whenever they're out and they're doing the camp and stuff like that, especially when they're on long moto trips? So anyway, without further ado, we've got Bonnie Johnson, Storymoto ADV. Thank you for stopping in. She's a good friend of mine and my best friend, Billy J from Storymoto. It's really cool because I don't get to see them a whole lot, but when they do pass through, I am going to capture them and I'm going to dig into the dirt. So anyway, Bonnie, what's happening? How's it going?
It's going good. It's been pretty crazy few months and just going back and forth from East Coast to West Coast. And, now I literally have my motorcycle taken apart in the back of my CRV. So
that is no joke. She literally has her XT 250. You've seen our video on it, the little dual sport, the can. That's the video that it did. That thing is literally disassembled and it's laying in the back of her Honda CRV because she has a dog. She has Oliver. And she has Josie, and she can't ride that thing. There's only one way to get it back. You're going to have to stuff it in there. They did a video on it, so it's actually pretty neat stuff. So
it's pretty lucky I have the XT250 because a KTM, a 690 wouldn't have fit.
Yeah, it's probably too big. It's probably too big, just the sheer length of it. Mm-hmm. But they're like, you're going to what? I was like, I don't know how that's going to, I was like, I don't know how that's going to work out. But they did it, man. They did it. So pretty cool stuff. They made it happen, and I don't even want to ask. And I was like, oh, so did our buddy have? Like, no, it was me and Billy J. And I was like, what? And then they did it. So she got here this morning, very, very early, coming out of Flagstaff, Arizona, which is where they've been. And make no mistake, girls can do it too. So they're out there, and I tell you what, girls are hard to reach, man. I've tried real hard to get the girls to step up and be part of the 690, and I really want to try to step into that because girls can ride, man. Make no mistake, girls can ride. So, but anyway, you've been gone. You passed through the last time we did a podcast. We did it in the motor garage. Yeah, we did it in the motor garage, and the audio is a whole lot better now than what we had back then. So, so what have you been doing? I mean, you left here, you headed out. I mean, where did you guys end up?
We just sort of we went from Dallas back to Florida for a couple weeks, and then slow rolled from Florida out to Flagstaff. And basically, when we got there, we went straight out camping again in Sedona. I
love Sedona.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It was awesome.
Just the trees and if you've never been to Sedona, Arizona, absolutely.
And the weather was
gorgeous.
Great. It was really nice. Perfect camping.
Yeah.
And we also had we stayed at our friend's Eric's.
That's
in
that's Ogman, by the way. That's our buddy. I'm going to try to see if I can't get a photo up. He'll probably be mad at me for me putting it up there, but I don't particularly care. I've known him since we were little kids. And, but yeah, so you guys were out there and they bypassed me. Unfortunately, they took the I-10 all the way, went through Houston, cut through El Paso and that area, and then trucked up north.
The reason is because our bikes were in Arizona. And we just wanted to get back to the bike.
Yeah, and I remember that too because I got a few texts from you and you're like going, I am so missing my bikes. I was like, well, I don't leave them in Arizona. So, and also end up in Florida. So,
yep.
But anyway, so you got there, and so what was happening out there? I mean, I know you guys got with Eric, and you did some camping, did Sedona.
Yep.
I know
family come out.
Yes.
From,
Oregon,
Portland. Yeah.
Yes.
And went out camping with them again. It wasn't like moto camping; it was more like river camping. We had the whole deal set up.
Right.
But still a lot of good riding out in Sedona.
Yeah.
Really good weather this time of year. Like just.
Yeah, I mean, because this time of the year,
campfire weather.
It was like what, probably maybe 70s during the day,
days, and then nighttime,
chilly.
Like, yeah, but never uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it's really
and
nice.
and it's really nice when you can get a tag car, that goes out there and they can bring a lot of the goods and stuff like that, because it makes it easier, especially when somebody's cooking. It makes it easier to get the goods out there to do the cooking. I did receive a what am I looking at? Oh yeah, I received a text message from somewhere in the middle of Sedona. And you cook something that I really love. And what exactly did you cook?
Chicken and dumplings.
Yeah, see, that's just not fair. You can't go and send pictures of chicken and dumplings and motorcycles
with
and
a
fires.
Campfire.
Yeah, it's so not fair. I didn't. All right, it was cool, but it's not cool because I wasn't there. But it was really pretty neat because she told me because she made chicken and dumplings here over Christmas, and she goes, you know what? I'm gonna figure out how to do this at a campsite. I was like, yeah, good luck. Well, I'll find that text picture and I will post it. So how did you do it?
Well, you know what? Like even though we were river camping and we had like gear and just huge pots and pans,
it's still harder than you think.
Like I could have done it that way, but since I'm working on the moto cookbook, I did it in my moto pots and just tried to do it exactly like I would do it if that's all I had.
As if you were just strictly bike fire,
exactly,
coming straight from literally from town, boogieing down.
Just grabbing a couple things from the gas station, and
I still don't know how you pull it off, but yeah, I mean,
it turned out really good.
It actually looked really good. So
it was delicious.
But it was delicious, so. But the cool thing is it just goes to show you that you could do things like that. She is working on a cookbook. I don't know when it's going to be out. Just remember, all good things do not happen instantaneously. But when it is done, make no mistake, 690 is going to post it. We're going to have it on our website. We're also going to have it on our YouTube. We're going to talk about that as well, and we'll probably do a podcast on it too. And we'll probably bring her back and let her talk about that cookbook so that you guys can find out about how to get it. If it's not free, it's going to be pretty close to free, but you're going to get a really good deal on it, and it's really how to make some really good stuff at a campsite, stuff that you wouldn't think that you could make, but you can make, because you'd be shocked what you could do. Like I said, we talked about the last cooking gear that you had the last time that you were here, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's
Evernew titanium.
Gotcha. And it's super light, right? I mean, it's
it's ounces. It's nothing.
Super cool. So titanium, so it's super durable, super tough, and man, she's got pictures that she sent to me, and she's got it on fire, she's got it on all sorts of stuff, and very cool. So with it being titanium, it does a really, really good job. I've got Josie from the Storymoto ADV. This was not preemptive. This just kind of came out of nowhere. Well, you do realize you're on my Thursday podcast. You're live right now.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, good. I just want you to understand that. So, Josie, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So, now that you're here, that you weren't supposed to be here.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. What's going on, and how how have you been dealing with all of this traveling and this motoing and camping and stuff? You been liking it, not liking it, or I mean, tell us about it. But don't bash it because we love it.
No. It's definitely an experience, and it's an experience I'm glad to have in my life. It's way different than the normal like home life.
Every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you gotta like
actually do things.
Every day is like finding wood for a fire. And
or what happens if you don't have fire?
You're cold.
Gets chilly out there, especially.
You don't have warm food.
Yeah, it's definitely. Trust me, I've been on many, and fire is literally number one on my list. Yeah, it's very important. And first man up after camp usually is the guy that's making the fire and stuff. So. Very cool stuff. So yeah, we were just interviewing Bonnie, but now that I got you, I have both the girls here, so
she can vouch for my camp chicken and dumplings.
Yeah. So how was it?
So good.
It looked good, and I wasn't there, and I appreciate the pictures and all the finer things that I didn't get to be part of while you guys were out doing your deal. It was amazing. Not cool. But
we were thinking of you as we ate it.
Right. And your dad is what now? What's going on with him right now? Because he is not here, or he would have came in. He is what's going on with him? So what's happening?
Going up to Beartooth Highway,
which is where?
Wyoming.
Okay. Well, you got to understand, there's a lot of people that follow this, follow my channel, and they don't know certain parts of the country. So we have to fill them in and let them know. There's a lot of guys that do know and a lot of guys that don't know. So the Beartooth Highway is a magnificent stair-step highway that is in Yellowstone. And
look down on rainbows.
Yeah, it's just absolutely magnificent. He's doing a big deal. It's very, very cool. It's for a buddy of ours. It was his son. He has some ashes. He passed away at an early age. And he is going to sprinkle some of those ashes on that fantastic highway as kind of a little bit of a final resting place. He got a little bit at Valley of the Gods, which was very cool. I don't know if you saw that, Storymoto ADV at youtube.com. And very cool stuff. So if you're not part of that, make sure you check those guys out because it's actually pretty cool. So, but he is in Flagstaff right now, correct?
He is.
Yeah.
Finishing up YouTube videos and packing gear
and fixed to head into the mess.
Yes.
We have looked at the weather and not so much. It does not look like I'll tell you what, this is what separates the adventure riders from the guys that just sit at home in their, in their mom's basement eating Cheetos and making bad comments on people's YouTube channels. So very, very interesting on how that's going to be. So sounds like Mr. Oliver. So, but anyway, as far as the cooking and stuff that goes, how do you keep everybody in line? I mean, how does that work? I mean, you've got a tribe of people, and it's easier said than done because, I mean, I've got 2 boys of my own, and I have a wife, and it's tough, and I know what it's like camping. It's hard enough containing yourself, much less a whole tribe.
I think basically we figured out within the first week of going out last year that everybody has their strengths and you kind of fall into them. And so basically, there's people that are great to go out and get wood. There's people that are going to take care of the cooking.
My favorite part.
People that are setting up tents.
I don't like that part.
going into town to get food, whatever.
I don't like that
you
part
need
either.
To do.
The only part I like is the firewood and the sitting around the fire and drinking beer.
So I basically just at home fell into the cooking part of it, and I actually really enjoy doing it too. So it was a good.
Yeah, I mean it's really kind of a cool thing. I mean, out of the 4 things that you mentioned, I only really care for one. That's getting firewood and making a fire. That's my favorite part. Oh, and setting up my camp chair. I like my camp chair because I get to prop my feet up and I get to be a big lazy slug
and eat chicken and dumplings.
No, I've never had chicken and dumplings. To be honest with you, on a trip that really sucks. So thank you for reminding me of what I've never had on a moto adventure. Thanks.
Yeah,
both of you.
We also have mac and cheese with bacon. But,
Yeah, fantastic. That is awesome. Hey, cool. You know what else you never have? You never had a ferry, and you've never had all these other good things. Anyway, moving on from all the things that I don't get. let's talk about some Fear Factor
Okay.
that you went through. I did hear
Oh
of
no.
some freaky incidents of what happened, and you were in Arizona. Where did you go, and what happened, and how freaky was it, and what did you do to overcome your fear of going to a very epic place?
Okay, so we were in a really cool camping spot, and Billy had
Billy
said,
J.
"Oh, we have to go up to Robber's Roost. Everybody, come on, let's hike up." So I think it was like a mile hike
Yeah.
at least to get to it, and oh, let's go to the cave. So I had no idea the cave.
Josie's got a fantastic photo. She's sitting right in the window. It's really it's
it
beautiful.
is really cool. So you have to basically hold onto the side of a cliff for, I don't even know how far it was, but there's a straight drop off.
And you love heights, right?
Yeah, it's my favorite. No, I'm super.
Josie
afraid of
didn't
heights.
care, but she
And,
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Billy didn't really disclose that was part of it. So.
Billy's real good about not quite divulging all the intensity of certain things.
Yes, and we also had Oliver, who's 6, so
Yes.
he had to be guided along this,
And our dog.
and our dog, who was on the cliff too, and passing you as you were clinging to the wall.
Right.
So, but once we got to the cave area, it was really beautiful. We
Yeah,
took
it's
awesome
the
pictures and-
pictures. Josie, I think she updated her profile on it. It was very cool. It was it's neat stuff. There's the Oliver man. we have everybody in Story Moto except for 2, except for Billy J and Zane.
who are
And
heading to Wyoming.
they're headed to Wyoming in the muck.
and then
So-
then down south.
And then down
again.
south. Yep, exactly. So, but anyway, so you guys have been out. You've been traveling for at least, I don't know,
Almost
since
a
the last time
year
came.
now.
Yeah, it's been, it feels like it too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It is definitely a lot of work. So, you just don't, put it together. There's a lot of work that goes into this type of stuff. You just don't just show up and say, I want to go moto camp. You can, but at the end of the day,
It doesn't happen that way.
it doesn't happen that way. And after a while, it really starts to wear on you, and it gets on you because it's a lot of work. It really is. It's a lot of work. So, but it's very cool to experience that type of stuff and to get out and to go and see all these beautiful places and all that stuff, And I know you guys basically got to get back to Florida. You got some things you got to do. You're recharging your batteries, doing a few things,
Yep.
and then you're back at it again.
Yeah, we have no idea where.
But that's the beauty part, not knowing 100% of what you're going to do and where you're going to end up. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's really kind of the adventure.
It's kind of what we signed up for.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that's it, And you know what? Ride that train as long as the train will stay on the rails. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just basically the way it is. Nobody said it was going to be easy,
Yeah.
and it's just a lot of work. So Josie will tell you, she's look at her say, but it is a lot of work and
But
very
you get
cool.
in
More
shape.
work than you think.
Yes, it is a lot of work because a lot of people think that you just go out and you just ride up on your motorcycle or whatever, and you
It
just
never
set
ends
up
up like that.
Yeah, you just set up camp and you're done. It doesn't work out
You
that
get
way.
in at dark.
Yeah,
You scramble for wood and you try to get it together.
that's it. And sometimes you get there and it's a perfect scenario, but
Yeah.
but most of the times it's not perfect. You're showing up a little bit late, and it's just not perfect. And
You're relocating campsites.
Even when it
and-
is, it's still
Yeah.
work.
a lot.
It's a
Yeah,
lot of work.
absolutely.
There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So, but anyway, very cool. You guys are stopping in for, just a little bit. I know you're out of here, and I appreciate you guys, sharing a little time and letting everybody know kind of what's going on. Remember, youtube.com, Storymoto ADV. Very cool. Their stuff is very neat. You know me, man. Freaking youtube.com at the 690 ADV. You can find me anytime, anywhere. I'm there every single week. Yeah, she's a 690 Abbott, and I'm just kidding. She doesn't even like me. I'm just kidding. But no, I've known her since she was a baby. But very cool stuff, and it's really cool when people stop in. And this is the first interview with multi people. I only had one, and then I had a second pop in. So very cool stuff. We'll have to make sure that Billy J catches this. This comes out tomorrow. You guys know that it's on Thursday, and I appreciate everybody. Don't forget, youtube.com/690ADV, Radio 690ADV, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast. You can catch us basically anywhere. You can find us. Get us on Google. It don't matter. Just type in 690ADV. There I am, man. Don't forget, youtube.com/StoryMotoADV, StoryMotoADV.com, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I got that right?
Yes.
All one word?
Blog posts, recipes, mods.
Yeah.
Just camping ideas, everything.
Bunch of nardos.
Hey, Josie J on Instagram.
All right, there you go. All right, well, cool. Anyway, hey, I appreciate everybody's time. Thanks for stopping in for the podcast. You know what? You guys go out, find your adventure, have a great day, enjoy your weekend. Don't forget, Rant and Ride Friday tomorrow. You guys have a fantastic one. 690 out.
Bye.